watch, eat.
The wife overlook their areas of work, which means that they will be probably solving all the
senior sabye bange muzuminge ate muzuminge no bange muzuminge temufaayo. Alright, ambadde mbagamba nti omusajja akyali mu mmotoka eyo bamugaaniddemu balooya bebeero n'omukyala we. Please mbadde nsoma Guys, I was reading the number. You are watching Extreme Media UK. My name is John Paul UB Commander. Whenever you're watching us from, it is Extreme Media UK, and my name is John Paul. To follow in the case and cover Kira Police. So I'm subscribing Extreme Media UK. Abagala okuyamba, abagala okuba nti nno muteekako ekintu kyolina omanya teekako ku inamba eri 0777 324 670 Jogeza Nicholas. I once again read number 0777 324 670. Thank you so much. Sorry? Sorry? You deposit.
kitugende kira ne batukoze akabadi
owaye sirika
yogera nti Anthony getandiko
anti simanyire lwatu mandi yadda anti kugana let me just pin it here. I'm pinning it here. The number here. Okay, that's the number. It's my name is Jogeza Nicholas. That is the number. Mama jifunye nga njijawo. That is the number. It is my name is Jogeza Nicholas. No, there is no way. No way, please. Okay, thank you so much. Eria Tandeko, Bamuyita Chinese Seiga. We have deposited some money, 7K. Thank you. Yeah, please let's do the need full. Let's do the need full. Thank you so much for appreciating, guys. We are at Makindye. Kwe
nkulabe bakino
wadde nkukonyeeko
nkunange njikunji waddeko aji ate simana
Yes, I once again read the number. The number is 0777 324 6070. It's in my name, Jogeza Nicholas. Airtel, it is 07429 44256. Mula biwa tuyiri biwa nange. Echiwe tebibadde byangu, just know that. Naye nembuzi mukama kati yaseka jja kani ka correspondent kafe Pasente nawe twagala process Makambo, I'm reading my number. My number, let me read my number slowly here. Airtel and MTN. Let me hope you have got where to write. My number is 0777 324 670. That is the number. 0777 324 670. Jogeza Nicholas. Airtel is 07429 44256. In my name is Jogeza Nicholas. Mukwana, that number is for just depositing some money for data, yeah? Those numbers I'm reading. But it is not a command. Those who have can. If you don't have, don't. Lord Mayor Elias Lukwago akyali mu motoka eyo. Akyalimu. Yes, from wherever you're watching us, you are watching Extreme Media UK. My name is John Paul. Extreme Media UK. Kindly, if you're here for the first time, make sure you subscribe and turn on the notification bell. Please do subscribe. Okay, thank you. Mukwana Peter, thank you. Nabalina akakadde, even if you have $1 million, you can deposit $1 million, no problem. If at all you have appreciated my work. Kwa kati olabye gye tuvudde eno yes, hello. Now we are no? Okay. Okay, mbera bakyaliwo agenda mu kooti, that is it.
So, in performance of his duties as a lawyer, he has come across many challenges. But who hasn't he stood for? This gentleman, the Lord Mayor. So, when he's going through these hard times, it is important that we also respond in the same kind. So, I'm here not only to show solidarity, but if I'm called upon to step on the head, definitely I'm a lawyer. And I'm able to do that. If this court will be able to grant a bail which I know doesn't have jurisdiction in the matter that I'm part of, then I will present my papers. I will be one of those people to stand surety for him. So what I'd like to say, that this country is too big for all of us to accommodate everyone's opinion. With due respect and with due honor, I believe we can all work together. This is not the best image that we send out as a country. We've been suffering from Ebola, negative publicity, and now this is what we have. I believe we can do better as a country. There is open and big room for dialogue in this country, and big room for everyone to participate in politics without people's rights being abused.
Honorable, you confirm that you don't have instructions with and we would like to hear from you whether you have had a minute or
Boss, kamera ni short yani.
the rest of the team have been
Not as of yet, because I just can't like witness. I've realized this in that car. I've not spoken to him, to be fair and honest, but I'm here. Other lawyers are there. There are very many. I appeal to all lawyers in the society that can make it up to also stand up and come and present themselves, because this is the legal profession also at test. So if a lawyer in due course of practice in his profession, he meets such challenges, it is very, very important that lawyers and professionals in law also step forward and say, no, we have to stand together in this. And it's practically the judicial test. I mean, you issue an order and this is what you get from that. You issue summons and this is what you get. So this is a test towards them and how they pick up this. But I believe we can all have a contribution.
Wakategedde kati kukwata kifaananyi ebiro ebyesoma
honors to people when they pass on. But this is what we are celebrating when we sweep. Strong! Strong!
Matuga abadde baganya oyingira
Guys, move.
Okay, bamuleeta muno. Tagenda kuyimirira wano. Tagenda kuyimirira wano.
We shall never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. We shall never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. We shall never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. We shall 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 never, never, never surrender. Never, never, never surrender. We shall never, never, never
One wali better. Jango do one. Jango kali. Jango.
Mwaka kamera. Eno space na yewe leo. Take away. What?
olina kaadi gyogenda okumpaana endala olinawo extra card
naye abakoli bano batayagala kulinnyako mukwalo
tuli mu position za njawulo.
Shami, tell the control of the court. Ano. Tona. Sobola kujjako kaadi nga sina kaadi.
Jose, is that okay, Jose? Okay, okay. So, Colin, hey, Babsi.
Shami. Sobola kujjako kaadi nga sina kaadi.
Okay, okay. Timo, nzela kawo ayigiri mukuliyo.
Run.
So we are okay. Are you able to get me? Yes. Yes, I hear you, Chris. Okay.
Shami.
I can be sure to tell you that the lawyers are still tight on what could wait between in regards to the former we can be sure that the environment has been clearly cleared for him on the side where he is currently sitting. He's sitting beside his wife is sitting beside him, and also one of his aides currently is speaking to his lawyer, and that is Binyezedwa. He's also having an engagement with counsel Samuel Binyezedwa. He's one of the lawyers that he has worked with closely for such a long time. Also, one of the lawyers he has been engaging is prosecutor here. You can be able to see that continuance. There is a physician there, the gentleman that you are able to see there at the window, the one that has just moved through the camera with the mask which is blue. He is one of the physicians and doctors that handle his health conditions at any time when there are questions regarding to his health matters. Is currently giving a brief, we can call it a brief, to counsel Binyezedwa, who is the lawyer for his family, but also he is one of his partners, or one of his co-workers in Lukwago and company advocates. Counsel Binyezedwa has been on the run and on the watch looking for Lord Mayor areas Lukwago for the previous days, and he has been asking from the different areas from the Gatete police, which is close or which is resident in the area where Lord Mayor areas Lukwago stays. And that is his home area until today. At this particular area where we are coming to you live from the courtroom, we can be sure to tell you that he has been handling any legal process of looking for areas whereabouts until this particular time. He was also early on in Kira Division, where Kira Police is, where Council moved from about 40 minutes ago. And inside the courtroom where we are coming to you live from, we are expectant that it's only a judge or a magistrate who presides over this particular matter who will be coming in to handle the processes legal in nature that are expected to be undertaken a few minutes from now. We could also be keen to say that many of the PFF members have come in, but also we continue to see many other lawyers come in, especially those that work with counsel areas Lukwago. There's one who also I can be able to tell you that the former leader of opposition, Matthias Mpuga, has just arrived here inside the courtroom and is currently aside as the Lord Mayor areas Lukwago briefs his lawyer or speaks to him, and we can be certain to tell you that different individuals, especially friends, individuals that he has represents in the different courts of law before are outside the courtroom in the courtyard where we were coming to you live from before. Critical to notice that earlier we were able to note that the staff of court or members of the judiciary, those that work for it, have been entering the courtroom and checking through public to see whether members of the public have been able to occupy it, or indeed there are individuals from the state or from any team that could be in. So the particular door that we are unable to show you as of now is where we expect that the magistrate will be coming from, and at that particular time the expectation will be that the charges get to be read for them. Different you'll be able to see all those different lawyers that you'll be able to see take on the bar, get their seats and position themselves are that we have been able to see differently alongside the Lord Mayor. And also that speaks to what indeed will be happening here. So now the number of lawyers continues to grow, taking a different seat for themselves. Now you can be able to see the close-up picture that we're showing you live is a picture of the Lord Mayor area of Lukwago, and that picture shows him speaking to former opposition, but also a friend of his who he has worked with for more than 13 years that he has been at the council, but also the other years that he worked as a member of parliament for Kampala Central. So that speaks to now, more family members for the Mayor have been able to come in, but also there are individuals who we are in a position to see them coming even away from the place. We are uncertain whether they are the members of the state or state prosecutors. We are unable to tell whether it is them, but there is suspicion that they could be the individuals that could be representing the state in the matter that we are next to establish, which the state will be hardly against sorry. Live from the courtroom. Different civil members
but ndimkuva space sifa mainstream ndimkuva space sana vanyiza
individuals who ladies trying to have access to the bar, it means they are lawyers. But I think this is the state prosecutors and that is what we are waiting to see. That suddenly like those things need to be members of state prosecutors as of now. And so they chair the magistrate is expected to take only 10 minutes from now has also been cleared, and that all the next process is getting undertaken from now the legal process, which we are able to substantiate what sort of charges we can calculate into for the former lawyer for councillors. So critical to notice, council is just Lukwago, but the former mayor is the lead council in the matter of treason against Dr. His position on that matter has been or is still expected to be coming back to the court of law for hearing, especially on the 30th of June, but also not just hearing of the trial, but also the application in which the Lord Mayor areas so court to have General Husband and Gaba answer on the motion that the appeals to individuals Ebyokwelinda and Dr. Binyezedwa are taking forward. We can confirm that the three ladies, individuals that have come into court are state prosecutors, and they are apparently trying to create a way for them or crying trying to create room for them to have chairs at the bar where they are able to represent the state or the government of Uganda on any matters to any challenges that the state preferably wants to state against. And also areas that is full, not any individual can find where to have a have a chair for themselves. Indeed, we can only to take that.
I'm just showing you this.
We are able to take that those files that we are able to see suggest that indeed the files that are getting closer, tracing the files that are that we are able to see two files, but also we are able to tell you that some of those posts documents that we talked about are the important documents of national education cards and the introduction letters that come from different organizations who are intending to start showing for any other individual here, but also just for the visuals, we have to see what you have been brought into the culture, which suggests that we make a space for everybody to see, to start us off. That is a sort of phenomenal project for are the different individuals expected to stand areas.
Akukweta hapo. Ngambadde ndabye kankasa ngamba bbi ate pawapanga teryakateri mukuja nagisanzeeko musikala adaganidde ensawo yange tebagikekedde ate nayiseejange awo mpizeewo nakudawaya nembaitakola kiguli ngaate nayisewa
Which one?
Let's please your Nyamwisa Judith, Senior Secretary. Nyamwisa Judith, Senior Secretary of the office. Together with me is Opia Caroline, Senior Secretary, and Gabriel Obua, State Attorney. We represent the state in this matter. We are ready to proceed with the plea. I pray that the President Council introduce the results of
Please, Your Honor, my name is Binyezedwa tebakiliza. I'm assisted by Counsel Samuel. The Honorable Honorable Matthias Lukwago, Sandra.
yes, that's just the matter of the later.
Yes, Mr. Rebecca second. Mr. Lawrence Kabul. Lawrence Kabul and Miss Proscovia Tunisia. You will represent the two we also joined by Maria Mitali. Russia, we're ready.
The son of Lukwago, the male father of Uganda, 53 years, in Uganda by tribe, a lawyer, resident of Lukwago, Bishop of you're charged with misprision of children, contrary to section 25 of the Penal Code Act, Part 1, 2020. The particulars of the offense are that son of Elias Lukwago and others still at large between 2021 and November 2024 at various various places, including Nairobi in Kenya and Kampala in Uganda, knowing that other persons, to wit, Joel Wakaima, Frank Chiheri, Atkunda, Haj of Lutare Kamlegia, and Colonel retired Dr. Kizabesi Chibebe, intended to commit treason, did not give information thereof with all reasonable dispatch to the minister, an administration official, a magistrate or an officer in charge of the police station, or use all reasonable endeavors to prevent the commission of the treason. Salome, have you understood the particular information? Is it true?
It's not true.
Can you switch off your phone? Kindly could you switch off your phone? Scott is in session, please. Yes, the scale of not guilty statement.
Your Honor, inquiries are still ongoing. Request a mention date.
Yes, Colonel, we have a right to apply for this.
We are ready with 3 applications in alternatives.
The alternative was there.
No, the first is paid. And the last 2 are alternatives. Worship, we have instructions to apply for bail as we now do. Yes, the accused person applies for bail on the following grounds. 1, in exercise of the constitutional right to apply. And with the permission, I do not need to deliver that permission.
No, you don't have.
Under Article 23.
No, you don't have.
The accused person has a fixed place of abode at Wakaliga in the Waga division. He has a family. With a wife and children. And his residence is known to the state, both physically but also in documents, including the charge sheet, which you have just read over today. As the state mentioned in its charge sheet, the accused person is an advocate of this court and practices law. Under the name and style of Lukwago and Company Advocates. Operating Block 15A
you've got a bit slow answer on time.
Apologies.
It's operating.
The law firm operates at block 15A, 15th Clement Hill Road, Nakasero, Kampala. On the first floor of Ruth Towers. The first floor of Ruth Towers. Will experience close to 40 years of legal practice. He knows and understands the implications of bail, and makes a personal undertaking. Appear as and when directed. And to abide by all bail terms and conditions that may be easy to set. Your Honor, the accused person advances another ground is fragile health. The accused person suffers from a condition called gastritis. A number of conditions. First is gastritis. Which requires consistent medical supervision by specialized medical personnel. And you've got to follow closely how he has been in the document. When he keeps bumping, that is a condition. The requirement is to consistently monitor pressure, oxygen, aeration, and so on. But it also requires specialized food. Specialized food intake. At particular intervals during the day and night. In particular, in more particular terms, the worship, he has to take particular quantities, small quantities of meals at highly regulated
Please respect forward.
Your worship, smaller quantities provided at particular intervals, followed by particular medication, provided under supervision, medical supervision. Your worship, the second medical condition is herniated disc. And this herniated disc is H-E-R-N-I-E-I-A-T-E-D. Herniated H-E-R, yes, N-I-A-T-E-D. Disc. With actually, for completeness, it is disc C5 and C6 and C6. To demonstrate is that the lumbar spine, the cervical spine, was operated with a metal inserted which was operated in Fortis Hospital, India. That is where the surgery was conducted. Fortis, F-O-R-T-I-S, Memorial Hospital in Delhi, India. Your worship, following the brutal arrest and management under detention, the same has clinically dislocated by his observation arising owing to the pain he feels, which is excruciating and requires urgent orthopedic intervention. Or neurological intervention. He also suffers respiratory ailments relating to his breathing, requiring well-ventilated space, as well as consistent and persistent medical observation. He also suffers from hypertension. that hypertension has been exacerbated by the physical conditions. The physical conditions he has endured over the last 2 days of his kingdom. All these conditions were referred by the medical board of this country as only manageable by that Fortis Memorial Hospital and Nairobi Hospital. And Fortis is in Delhi, India. Yes, yes, it is in Delhi, India. I'm advised there is a more specified location called Gurugram in India. Gurugram in India. Gurugram is Gurugram. Your Honor, away from the medical prescriptions are two lifestyle prescriptions. One is what to eat. When to eat and how to eat it. The second is when to get up and walk, for how long, what distance, all of which cannot be available under incarceration. Now, those conditions have further been exacerbated by the type of meals that have been provided to you in the last 2 days. In particular, posho and beans. Forced posho and beans. Together with the lack of medication as prescribed. The latest pressure taken from off the applicant or the accused person about 1 hour ago indicated that it was 217. 200 over 100, yes, which by your standards is close to suffering a stroke. Indeed, before he was dumped at the police, while in military custody, suffered a high surge, of blood pressure. Reason whereof the military drove him out of their facility. And he was only saved by the intervention of a doctor that quickly administered a tablet under his tongue. All those conditions cannot be catered for under incarceration. We are making attempts, Your Worship, to obtain a printout of some of the medical documents we are talking about, which we could not prepare in time. Reason being that since his kidnapping, we have only been looking for him.
So you were unable to prepare?
We were unable to get them, but we have received them electronically. So they are being printed out. By the time I finish this application, these applications, we would have obtained. The accused person is 56 years old. By law and authorities, that is advanced. Now, advanced age spanning from the age of 50, so he's already 6 years in advanced age. As a matter of record and antecedent and responsibility, beyond being a lawyer, and a former member of parliament. The 8th Parliament. In the 8th Parliament. Where he served 5 years. A registered political party. A registered political party. He has no criminal record whatsoever. But has been charged in court before. And has been granted bail before. He has never absconded. Which is a demonstration of his law-abiding character. The Worship, in addition to his personal undertaking, abide by the bail terms, the accused person has a number of substantial sureties and I proceed to introduce them with your permission. The first one is the Honorable Betty Aolo-Jan. The Honorable Betty Aolo-Jan is the city woman member of parliament. City woman member of parliament for Gulu City. In this 12th parliament, having served for 15 years already, 20 actually. She's in her 5th term in parliament. She's a former leader of the opposition. She's the deputy president of the political party for Northern Uganda. Works closely with the accused person. She's a mother figure and a friend with the accused person, aged 67 years. She's introduced by a national identity card, being a resident of information. I'm also a man of advanced age.
With your permission, Senior Quarters Village. Ebyokwelinda Ward, I-R-I-A Ward.
I beg your pardon.
Ebyokwelinda, I-R-I-A-D-A Ward. Lalo Peche division is the South County.
That's why she's resident. Well, those are the particulars.
Those are the particulars.
Your Worship, we would like to pass both the national ID and the parliament ID through to the colleagues, then we shall provide photocopies.
And then upload them on it.
We will undertake. Your Worship, the accused himself is also introduced by letter of LC1. No, the accused. From Bulua village, where he's resident. That is Wakalima. And his national ID is also available for inspection and for your management. And for the Honorable Betty Awolo-Chan, we have the photocopies of the ID, the IDs. For the Honorable Awolo-Chan, we have not been able to secure LC later, considering the distance and the speed with which these events took place. Your Worship, the second surety with your permission, if Honorable Right Honorable Chan is the Honorable Dr. Philip Michael. Honorable Dr. Philip Michael Lulume Baiga. Honorable Lulume Baiga is aged 56. So they are both men of advanced age. He is a resident of Galasel, Bagala. Bagala is B-A-G-G-A. Set. Set award. Goma division. Set award. Goma division. Goma is G-O-M-A. Mukono municipality and Mukono district. It was introduced by Beta Povelsi. We are trying to run some more copies. Currently we have a photocopy and the original of his national ID together with the photocopy. The Honorable Mike Rudmaya Baiga is the immediate former Member of Parliament for Ebyokwe South. In the Ebyokwe district. Is the Deputy President to the accused person in the political party I mentioned, PFF. Is a medical doctor. And the proprietor of Kampala International Medical Center, close by here in Kansanga. Kampala International Medical Center, Kansanga, Kampala. Your Worship, he is a friend to the accused person for over 30 years. As you notice, their elements, they were in school together. And I've since lived at one. So also be reached on telephone number 0 information 0772 432 096. I forgot to mention the telephone number for the Honorable Chan. 0772 591.
591.
Yes, 702. The third surety worship is the Honorable Betty Namboze Bachireke. The Honorable Namboze Bachireke is aged 57. I have been forced by the president to mention her age. And now she's like, God, she's my mom. So she's age 57. She's the current member of parliament for Mukono municipality. Now serving her 5th term. Her 4th term, sorry. 4th term. And therefore she's actually due to her 5th term. She's serving her 5th term. Her 5th term. Yes, Your Honor. I'm in possession, Your Worship, of her parliament ID. Because of the rush, we were not able to secure LC later introduction. And the national ID. But she has memory of the NIN number, which can be used to access all the information about her. Her NIN number. It is CF 690 521 0 E9 capital E9 capital F capital E capital A. Sorry, capital E capital A. She's a resident of Nakabako village. Nakabako village, Mtawo ward, Mukono municipality. Her telephone number is 0752 38 710. Sorry, 388 710.
388 710.
Yes, Your Honor. Your Honor, in very peculiar circumstances, and now this relates to responsibility. The accused person is counsel, actually currently lead counsel, in the matter of retired Colonel Dr. Kiza Besigye and 2 others, which is criminal session case number 335.
335.
Yes. Currently at hearing stage. It is 335 of 2025. Currently at hearing stage and is scheduled for the 30th day. of June 2026. The same is likely to suffer interruption if it is not granted this way. I mentioned that one because of its prominence, including in these proceedings. But it is one among the so many cases he is handling as an officer. He is not a fright risk. And undertakes not to leave the borders of this country without prior authorization of this court, with or without it being a condition. It is therefore the possibility of delay, and I would invite you to take judicial notice of the case backlog in our system, both in police, where the case is still is, and in court. With that, Your Honor, the applicant is cognizant of the gravity of this offense. But one, the gravity consideration is mitigated in these proceedings by the personal undertaking and the caliber of the applicant, to the substantial nature of sureties, and the rest will be insulated by the conditions that you may be pleased to give. Obviously and axiomatically, the gravity of the offense does not negate the constitutional right and the presumption of innocence, right to apply for bail, and the presumption of innocence. We have so far, Your Worship, obtained one bundle of the applicants, some of the applicants' medical records that we have been able to obtain electronically. And with your permission, we will submit a copy, and then we will upload, and we will therefore, if court desires to calculate this, those are certificates. I stand to be guided, Your Honor, because the other two applications are dependent on whether or not you grant bail today. In the unlikely event that you are not in a position to grant bail today, we pray for one of the two things I'm going to mention. The first is owing to his medical condition. That he be referred to hospital for urgent medical care under conditions and directions you may be pleased to give. Again, in the unlikely event that that is not done, most unlikely, microscopic. In the unlikely or microscopic event that that is not done. But without prejudice to the foregoing, we pray that you direct that prisons authorities allow him possession of an orthopedic mattress. Orthopedic mattress. Because the same is under medical prescription. Orthopedic mattress and a cardiac bed. Because these are critical for his survival. Yes, and a cardiac bed. The same are critically needed for his survival. Where he was previously incarcerated, when he mentioned that, they thought it was a luxury. And they advised him to sleep on the floor, which has exacerbated his back condition. With that, he only slept on the floor for about 20 minutes. He explains. Okay, he was lying, not sleeping, on the floor. He was lying on the floor for those 20 minutes, and those have worsened his medical condition. He has not accessed medical care from his personal medical attendants. In the unlikely event of the remand, we will pray that the same be ordered and that he be allowed to access his specialized and prescribed meals. Your Worship, we have obtained as the second copy of the bank of his medical documents. We pray that these medical documents be kept private because they relate to personal medical conditions and very private. With that, Your Honor, I reiterate what I earlier prayed and pray that you be pleased to grant bail as a matter of life and death. Especially for the fear of an irreversible stroke owing to his medical condition. I so pray.
We have had the late application made by the council in respect of the application regarding the fish factories. But we are asking the council for the accused person to avail us with the letter introducing the surety, in a particular surety number 1 and 2. That's letter from the LLC introducing them. He also availed us with a set of medical 1 and 3. 1 and
The letter of introduction of their residence.
the letter from the area MC introducing them.
That's what I mean. The letter of introduction of their areas of residence. That is Honorable Moses and Betty Achan.
Then secondly, we are also requesting for the set of the medical documents in respect to the condition of the accused person, where the council referred to the second set of the medical documents. We are also requesting that we should be available with thereafter. We are also praying that with the prosecutions are given time. After you have seen the volume of the document, this is one set of the medical document tendered by the council for the accused person. This volume of it, within time to study the document. Then, to study the medical document. And then we also need time to verify the particulars of the sureties. From that point, we also shall be able to effectively respond to the bail application made by the council. This question.
We are in court, please. Can you respect court? So in other words, the state is unable to respond to the application.
That's the position. That's the position also. Also, the council for the accused person, in addition to the application for the bail, we also pray for referral order for urgent medical care and provision of orthopedic mattress, taking into account the condition of the applicant, he refers to that, and the mattress. The other one is critical to this condition also. And that the applicant also needs specialized meal. He also paid court in event that the court does not grant him bail, court should issue that order. He also have a response to that.
You're highlighting on the
what he has
to understand.
Yes.
Just on his request of grant an orthopedic bail.
Yes.
So you are highlighting, then you can respond to the same.
Yeah.
Because I was failing to understand.
Yes. Yes. In response to that, the prosecution's submission that the prison authority has the best facility in the country. It has specialized doctors, unless otherwise court gets a report from the prison authority that they are unable to contain this condition while in prison, upon a report, maybe the court can pronounce itself on it. But as per now, there is no report from the prison authority suggesting that they are unable to have him in their facility. And to be premature for the court to say that the prison authorities are unable to have him in prison at this point or at this stage. So at this stage, we also rest our respect. Our prayer here is for the court to claim to issue the order prayed for by the council for the accused person. An order for with urgent medical attention, medical care, ordering the prison authority to provide orthopedic mattress and cardiac pain. That order also will pray that court to claim to issue at this stage. That's our prayer also.
In regards to the bail application.
We ask for time to respond.
So in other words, you seek an adjournment in order to be given time to respond to the application.
Yes, you also.
With regard to the medical documents, the second state I was referring to, I meant copy one bundle sent for the prosecution and one for court. That's what I meant by second one. So the bundle I tend to rely on is within the possession of my colleagues.
So the bundle that is in court is in its entirety.
Absolutely.
Yes, you don't need a second one.
No, I only meant working 2 copies each, one for state and one for court. They have the same, and I would invite them to read the same. Now, the same way they were prepared to charge and provided us with the little time that they gave us. So for the documents, and I will submit all the documents where they want the orders to see and understand the medical condition. They have the documents in front of them, and I trust their ability to read and understand them now and respond. Your Honor relates to LC letters. I did mention that, yes, we would have loved to provide the same. But the circumstances imposed onto us by the prosecution could not allow us. We only learned at 11 today that the accused person had been dumped at the police in Chira. Chira. No, not Chira. Chira division in Nampongo side. We rushed. We cooperated with the police. By way of providing the charge and caution they required of him, and his statement, which he did. We cooperated with their police sergeant to come and do his observation. And he did. Preliminary information was that they were going to charge him in Nakawa court. Even as we speak, they have not given us a copy of the charge sheet. Now, you're talking about the prosecution, mounting a prosecution in good faith. I did ask my colleague, also for the state, when we were here, before you enter, and we look at the copy of the charge sheet, and she said, I do not have it yet. I don't know if she has it now. I have not looked at the charge sheet. I only listened attentively. I would invite my colleagues, therefore, to use the same attention I used to listen to the charge sheet and understand the medical documents. Your Honor, the LC letters that have been mentioned are only for identification of individuals. I am so saddened that counsel for the state, if after receiving a parliamentary ID for the Republic of Uganda, and she represents the state which issued the ID I'm talking about, and she still wants more. But I'm even more saddened that in this day and age, my learned friend cannot even verify the identity of a member of parliament electronically and digitally. I'm very, very sad. From delay, creating backlog, abusing process, creating backlog, abusing court process, creating, congesting prisons, and persecuting. There would be no reason why a senior state attorney, two senior state attorneys, with a state attorney assisting them, would not be able to proceed with this such a and would insist that you proceed and detain, not just a sick person, a dying man. I would want to draw your attention, Your Worship, and without recruiting your sympathy, to a German national that was denied bail in Kalanga on similar flimsy grounds, and at the next hearing he was dead. And you say, your former Lord Mayor of this city, a colleague at the bar, an officer of this court, should not go to hospital, but should go and be condemned to death before you even try it. Sure. With respect, Your Worship, to the sureties, to the alternative prayer. One, that even when someone wants to provide for himself a facility to allow him to live, without inflicting a charge on the government of Uganda by way of a mattress, somebody providing for himself a cardiac bed without asking government to provide the same. Someone providing for himself a specialized meal commensurate with his condition of life. Counsel for the State demands, I want a medical prescription for that. Your Honor, LC letters are not a requirement of law. It is just practice and guidance provided in the bail guidelines, just as a guide among other conditions you may impose. Indeed, that's why the law provides with or without sureties. Look at the speed with which we have been able to obtain the data from LC of a person who has been incarcerated. And then somebody demands that the prisons authorities has the facilities. First, I'm not privy to when my learned friend was last incarcerated in the men's wing anywhere in our prisons, so as to testify to the proprietor of conditions in prison. Unlike us who are in private practice, who visit inmates in our prisons, she only interfaces with the file in the comfort of her office or chambers. I invite you to disregard her submission on the propriety or otherwise of the prison conditions, but invite you to take judicial notice of the congestion in our prisons that have always been highlighted by the judiciary, that we're all proud to serve. Even without medical reports, some of which we have provided, and even those from prison, Your Honor, this bail is entirely discretionary, and we rely on your discretion and good conscience. Discretion is basically the law of conscience, which we invite you to invoke and exercise. We therefore pray that you take cognizance of the leadership caliber of the sureties presented, the caliber of the accused person, his record and service both to court and the nation, but also the need to decongest both court and prison by attending to the legal work he handles as your officer. In the unlikely event that you incline to look at the letters of LC, then I would invite you to grant bail on the applicant's own cognizance, because it is provided for both in law, Section 75, as well as practice. And to do a visual and clinical examination of the accused person. And a bit please grant bail, disallow the adjournment, and since they have opted not to respond to the bail application, to close them out. But even reopening to allow them is entirely your discretion, and I'm amenable. Without much ado, Your Honor, may you find pleasure. In the event, Your Honor, that you want the state to have another opportunity to say, and since they wanted a medical report specifically on what they're asking for, a copy and summary is hereby given to them. But even if I being senior to them, maybe I could also be of help to them. As an alternative to an adjournment, you could give them a standover to study the documents. Since they need more time.
Actually, before we can pronounce itself, I simply wanted to make an inquiry. I don't know how much time the state is requesting for in order to give them time to respond to the application. Because state is represented and they must be given an opportunity to respond to the application.
With your permission, just before, and my colleagues' permission, we are actually in possession now of the medical referral which they were talking about from Lago National Referral Hospital. Dated 13th April 2024. And it relates to the accused person with the diagnosis of C6-7 disc prolapse.
That is the C5 and C6 you're talking about?
Another 6 to 7.
Okay, it's 6
to 7.
as opposed to 5 and 6?
Yes. Yes. This even 5 is there, but this one relates to 6 and 7. Yes. Disc prolapse. Prolapse is pro and then lapse. With left-sided neuropharyngeal stenosis. I'm reporting that state is laughing at my client's medical condition. Maybe she's laughing at the way I'm pronouncing medical terms. Yes, she's excited that I know them. Your Honor, with left-sided neuro, that is N-E-U-R-O. Foramia is F-O-R-M-I-A, which is as one word. Stenosis. And I'll only read the last bit, which my colleague was interested in, submitting recommendation. Mr. Lukwago Arias has not responded to the conservative treatment with pain medication and physiotherapy. Is recommended surgical decompression with spinal fusion, SCDF, to relieve his severe symptoms. Your Worship? Yes.
When was this examination done?
Which one are you referring to? The one I'm reading?
Yes.
That is 40s. And
Is it the one of India?
that is India, but that was preceded by this.
Oh.
Yes. But this one I'm referring to is April 2024. So I am giving this copy with the request that I receive it back to make this because it is the only one we are in possession of. But for the purposes of my colleagues. I only wanted to make one comment and to appeal to co-professionals, the other side. In life, as professionals, there are certain things that make us look ugly. And there are certain fields as professionals we need not proceed. On my part and my team, we undertake to observe those standards. I would appeal to my colleagues, before whom I joined the bar, to keep the same standards. I so
If the proper can check the legal matter, I simply want to ascertain how much time prosecution is asking to respond to the application. Because as far as the court is concerned, the application must have been responded to.
We are requesting for 1 week's time. Considering that there are weekends that you might not be able to access. Also, noting applicants herein,
Which state needs to verify?
which we need to actually verify and see if it's the current state of the event or it's overtaken by events. So it's much more than the introductory letters that have been presented, that have not been presented by the surety. It's much more, even regarding the applicant himself, considering the charges leveled against him. So we pray for more time, Your Honor, which is a strip of 1 week. Yes.
To respond to the rejoinder, any, and then court has to be given time to make a ruling on the No.
Your Honor, our prayer is specific. It's 1 week. We believe that we'll be able to.
Well, Your Worship,
This is off the report.
yes, Your Worship, I'm not used to back and forth.
I don't.
And that is the kind of practice I have lived for the last 25 years. Supposing I really are inclined to concede to an adjournment for 1 day with a prayer that the accused person be kept in a medical facility under protection, observation and protection of guard of security agents, government, in this case, police. But if they want prison to be in that hospital or police, we are many. Because all we are concerned about is protecting and preserving life. Because what the state is inviting you to do is to do an experiment on the accused person's life. Whether he actually will die, whether he's in good or bad condition. We have not had the benefit of receiving from them the report of their police surgeon. Because she's talking about what to know the current state. The police surgeon did review the accused person. We are not privy to the report that he made. If they had shared with us, probably it would be a starting point for us. But it's not. We can only relate to the situation as we know it from our side. And I will give them the benefit of doubt that they do not know his condition before here. Now, I'm only speaking from the point that I know how I found him in police custody today, how he has lived before, which is not within their knowledge. As a win-win and stopgap measure, would they find pleasure to concede, as we concede to their adjournment, even for that 1 week, he be placed under medical care, under guard or protection, unless the intention is different. Maybe to subdue, maybe someone to die, Also, so the medical conditions exacerbate beyond repair. If the intention is justice, and justice meaning a trial of a person that is not dead, then I would invite them to concede to medical referral, to go to hospital under their gun, limited visitation. Even a they are adjournment for that 1 week. Because our proposed roadmap was, if he's in a hospital for some at 1 week, he's able to prepare for the cases he's handling, assuming he's granted bail. But we can afford them the time they need to study the document, verify the locations or residences of the persons in issue. Oh, actually, the one from Laro, we do not have the original, but the copy has been sent electronically. And that is how serious we are. But you have two sureties whose LC identity is not an issue anymore. Elship, we are taking you through this pain, and I would invite you to understand where we are coming from. It is somebody we thought in the last 2 days may not be alive. Luckily, he's here, he's alive. How do we secure his life, but also the interests of justice? I would be very happy to hear a session from this.
We don't want to go back and forth, because councilman that has ably applied for bail. The state has not responded to the same, giving their reasons. They need to verify. The issue is not about the letters. The letters have been available. According to the state, they need time to verify the medical conditions according to them. So I believe in the interest of justice, since there are medical issues presented to court, the state will be given 2 days to respond. Yes, the state will be given 2 days to respond, and that is today's Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. In order to save time, why can't state file written submissions in that regard and have them filed electronically? Honorable Medad Segona could rejoin if, and then court can deliver a ruling on the same. Yes, this is an order of court. Let's check. Yes, have these 2 days. Peruse, file submissions electronically. Council Medad, I believe you can respond. You can respond in 1 day.
Yes.
So that will be by no, the state files and serves by Friday. They are given 2 days to verify. The state files and serves by Friday. So the defense will respond, if any, by Monday. Then can we meet?
I actually don't need Monday.
You don't need
It's electronic. Filing is electronic.
Electronic,
We
yes.
will file on Saturday.
On Saturday. Then, if that is the case, then we shall have a mention on Monday. If I have all electronic requirements, because sometimes the directives are not complied with. We can have a mention on Monday. Salongo will be remanded till Monday. The prison authorities are directed to take into account his medical conditions. Specifically, we shall remind him from Makindye. I think that's where the hospital is. Yes, that's where the hospital is. And then you can have a meet up with the prison authorities on the issue of your setting bed, so that you can make arrangements and have it. So you will be remanded till.
Before you do that, Your Honor, I'm grateful possible. May we take it as an order that we take. We do not want it from the state if we do not have it. we will provide the mattress. We will, of course, how to deliver it, we can organize that.
Yes, that's what I said, that we will have meet up with the prison authorities and arrange. Okay, because the prison has its own guidelines. So he will meet, the family will meet up with the prison authorities and arrange on how the issue of the orthopedic mattress will be delivered or handled accordingly. I guess we are clear on that. Yes. So step for avoidance of doubt, time, Monday 10. Is it available for the yes? I believe even if it's a Sunday, we are
Okay, omusajja bamulimandize paka nga Monday akomawo mu kooti on Monday. Mama. Fande mukikola mutya? Ay. Abasajja bakikola but I've stood just for hours. Jesus, my people, thank you so much for always keeping at X Media again. Wait. Until Monday. Tamanyi anti okomawo mu kooti Monday. So guys, komawo ku Monday bambi subscribing. Sina mukasente. Those who promised me some money, please kindly do it. Aliwa yini? Aliwa. Oh. Chirisha. Baba, so kunyambe kuntekere kwa nene. Na ile kabisa. Guys, banange balina okwevugira ku mikutu gwa Extreme Media Yugi nga bwe mutumanyi atugezezaako okuba nti tukola ekyaffe mulabye buli kimu ekibadde kigenda mu maaso okuva ku Kira Police andowooza mukikakasiza nti Extreme Media Yugi twajja bambi oba oli mutulabira wonna oli ku mukutu gwa Extreme Media Yugi. My name is John Paul Commander. Kindly subscribe. Kindly subscribe.
You know one thing was thinking to pay me. This guy you pay me, and I put the rate
So we are having
tugabanya Reka sitafuna
Muveyo mu. Nani?
To join us on this stream as we see the bands who are approaching, having brought different groups of the streetliners, half companies